Hey, it's Mark Eitel, host of the Mr. Mortgage Show, and you're listening to the Daily Dose. And it is Friday evening, and I'm doing show prep for tomorrow morning's radio show. And I think most of you know, but if you don't, I host a radio show every Saturday morning live on iHeartRadio. If you want to listen, that would be awesome. Just go to the iHeart app and search the Mr. Mortgage Show. We're live Saturdays, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm prepping for tomorrow's show, and I pulled an article that is speaking to the rise in inventory, which is great news. It's really, really good news because we've been lacking inventory for so long, and the lack of inventory had a big part in the prices appreciating to where they are now. So bringing more inventory on the market is a wonderful thing. And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, but I wanted to just touch on it briefly now while I'm thinking about it. The inventory numbers are up almost 20% year over year, and the headline reads, housing inventory spikes. I don't know what I mean. You hear me talk about it all the time, how the headlines are just kind of outrageous. But the headline alludes to this wild spike in inventory, which is all very true. But it's not because 20% more people are putting their homes on the market. If you read the data and you go pre-pandemic, 2017 to 2019, we're up 1% as far as new listings coming to the market. So then you're going to ask yourself, well, how do we have all this additional inventory? And the reason is we have almost 16% less pending home sales. Homes are coming to the market at just a tiny increase in pre-pandemic levels, just 1%. So if there were 100 homes brought to the market pre-pandemic in a certain time frame, now we're talking about 101 homes. But where we're getting this spike in inventory, which is classed as available listings, properties that are available to be purchased, there's 16% less properties under contract. So the life of a listing goes something like this. It's a new listing, then it's classed as an active listing. So an active listing is available for purchase but not yet under contract. Then a pending sale is under contract but not yet closed. So it's technically not been purchased. However, it's no longer available for someone else to buy. So that's a pending sale. So it reduces the inventory number. So what's happened is the increase in interest rates and all of the other inflationary pressures have taken buyers back a step, and they're reevaluating their decisions and making sure they're getting the best possible deal on the best home and the best location, etc., etc. So there is a tiny bit more inventory coming to the market, but we have seen a step back from buyers. I believe what's going to happen is once we get through the 4th of July holiday, we're going to see more buyers come back into the market for two reasons. One, anytime you give people the opportunity to drink a cold beer and barbecue, it doesn't matter what else it is, they seem to put it on hold. And secondly, we had a significant spike in interest rates throughout the beginning of June, and that's stabilized a little bit. Rates actually pulled back a tiny bit in the last week. So I think we're seeing a more favorable environment for buyers to be able to negotiate, and we're seeing rates in the fives, which historically is a good rate. I think people have had a chance to digest the increase in interest rates. Now, I'm not discounting any of the other economic pressures that we're suffering because we're definitely in a crap storm economically in this country. And I think you'll see people finally admit that we are in a recession. You've heard me say it since the beginning of the year, but I do believe that we've finally met the threshold for two subsequent quarters reporting contracting GDP, so people can officially admit that we're in a recession. So, that puts pressure on the economy. Gas prices have eased back a little bit. Interest rates have eased back a little bit. So perhaps the consumer will be more inclined to look at real estate again. But we haven't seen a significant drop off. There's still, a ton of buyer interest. We're still seeing contracts every week. I just find it interesting that the long-awaited increase in inventory is finally here. And tune in tomorrow if you have a chance. We're going to talk more about it. But that's all I have for you. It's kind of an end of the week thought as we're rolling into the Saturday morning radio show. We're seeing a little bit of inventory increase from a listing per capita standpoint, and then some pullback in buyer demand. So it's created more choice. There's more available property. So I think all of that is super, super encouraging. It's going to put us in a more healthy environment present and give buyers the opportunity and, more importantly, the time that they need to make an adequate decision. And, some choice really is basically what it's come down to, and some negotiating power. I think sellers, we're seeing it every day. Sellers are more willing to negotiate the price, contribute to closing costs. I talked to a friend of mine today who's been in the market for a while, and she purchased a property. It was listed for $525, and she bought it for $499. So she feels like she got a deal. The sellers were willing to contribute. So anyway, that's all I have to share. Again, it's Friday evening, and I'm prepping for tomorrow's show, and I'm just digging through the data and noticing the increase in housing inventory. And I wanted to dive a little bit deeper on where that inventory is coming from and kind of share that thought. So that's all I have for you today. I'd love for you to listen tomorrow. You can find us live Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on the iHeart app. Just go to the iHeart app and search the Mr. Mortgage Show, and you'll find us. Go to the Facebook page. We're posting a ton of good info there every day. Just go to Facebook and search the Mr. Mortgage Show. We'll pop up. If you want to hear any previous recorded versions, the replays, if you will, of the show or these Daily Dose podcasts, just go to MrMortgageRadio.com. They're all posted there. And then lastly, if you want my contact info or want to talk or shoot me an email, visit www.mr.mortgage, never a .com, just type in mr.mortgage and the website will pop up. So again, my name is Mark Eitel, host of the Mr. Mortgage Show, and you have been listening to the Daily Dose. We'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks.